Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Keith from Heavy Mental Art, and I'm an artist from Sydney, Australia. I recently made a custom deck of playing cards. Each design took 10 plus hours to make, and over 100 hours plus creating all of the designs, and then about over 3 months work. So I'm really happy with how they turned out for my first playing card set. So I wanted to make a series of videos going through my process of making the cards. The idea for these cards was based around the 4 horsemen and the Joker as the devil, as the one controlling everything like a puppet master. These will be up on Kickstarter if you wanted to grab one for yourself. Link will be in the description. So I appreciate any support, or even just sharing the Kickstarter around will help a lot. If you're watching this after the Kickstarter has ended, I may have some available on my website, heavymentalart.com.au. Link will also be in the description. Today I'll be going through the process of making the Queen cards. So I hope you enjoy.
The Queen of Hearts for the Horseman War. For the Queen cards, I took ideas, themes and color schemes that I used in the King cards. For this design, I wanted it to look a bit like a warrior demon about to head into battle, carrying her sword of flames, wearing silver medieval type armor with a red cape, the Queen's hair made of fire with demon horns. For the Queen card designs, I wanted them to look like female versions of the horsemen that I did for the King cards. I was pretty happy with the way this one turned out and excited to get on to the next. The Queen of Spades for the Horseman Death. I had a lot of fun with this design. I wanted it to look a bit like an angel of death with her black crow looking wings holding the scythe. For her face, I wanted it to look like she was wearing a masquerade skull mask, but still keep the look of her feminine. I also had the idea of making her chest area look a bit like a rib cage. This was probably my favorite out of the Queen card designs. I just really liked how the design turned out. A lot of times I have this idea or picture in my head of what I want to draw. Getting it out of my head and onto paper or the screen, it can look completely different than I imagined and almost take on a life of its own. So I do pretty much all the line work in Procreate and the base color layers. Once I'm done with that, I put it into Photoshop to do the last details. Now that I've finished 2 of the designs for the Queen cards and halfway through, I felt a bit more confident with how I wanted them to look. The Queen of Clubs for the Horseman Pestilence or Famine. The idea for this one was a swamp lady looking creature with tree branches growing out of her and her flesh decaying and being consumed by this disease. She's holding a wooden staff that contains this poisonous flame that she uses to spread disease. If you haven't watched part 1, I go through the making of the King cards based around the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Make sure to check that out. I also put together a playlist with all the videos going through the process of making each card design. I wanted to make a series of videos going through each part of making a card deck. King, Queen and Jack cards, and the Joker cards, to the Ace cards, to the number cards, to the card backing, and the card tuck box art. So there's quite a bit involved with making a custom deck of playing cards, and I learned quite a bit in the process of making them. So I really hope you enjoy or learn something from these videos, and thanks so much for watching. The Queen of Diamonds for the Horseman Conquest, the 4th and final Queen card. This was another fun design to do, but was also a little bit tricky with all the armor detail. So I wanted this design to look a bit like an angel with the white wings, and to almost be like the opposite to the Queen of Spades Angel of Death card, wearing silver and gold armor, wielding a gold bow and arrows. Like I was saying, it was a bit of a challenge to try and fit all the details into one image, but I managed to get everything into the design that I wanted to. Now that all 4 of the queen cards are completed, I can move on to the jack cards. Here's a quick time lapse of the 4 queen cards from the Procreate app. Again, I was really happy with how these turned out, each having their own look, feel and color scheme. I got 8 of the card designs completed, 4 king cards and 4 of the queen cards. I was excited to move on to the jack cards now.
Like I said at the beginning of the video, these will be up on Kickstarter for a limited time. And it would mean the world to me if you wanted to support the Kickstarter and pick one up for yourself. So I appreciate any support, or even just sharing the Kickstarter around will help a lot. If you're watching this after the Kickstarter has ended, I may have some available on my website, heavymentalart.com.au. Link will be in the description below as well. It was definitely a challenge working on these cards, but I learned quite a bit, and I can't wait to make some more in the future. And I love seeing how I can apply my art to different things. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Keep on creating. I'll see you in the next video.